Hey, what's going on, film fans? Welcome back to our channel. After a long hiatus, we are finally back. What do we talk about here? We talk about movies, streaming, all that sorts of good stuff. And with me, as always, it's not the usual skeptics because it's a plural. Wes, how you doing, man?
Doing good. Doing well, man. So glad to be back, guys. Yeah, so a lot of stuff has changed. I got a new job. Just been all over the place. Me and my son actually went on, and my wife went on his Make-A-Wish trip. So it's just been a long hiatus, but so glad to be back, man. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about today in future videos. We've got a bunch of stuff planned for you guys. So just stay tuned with us, and we're really glad to be back. So, with that being said, Gabe, let's go ahead and start on our first topic here.
Yes, sir. So, by the way, congratulations on the Make-A-Wish thing. That's awesome, man. So just to get straight into this thing, one of the IPs that everybody kind of has crapped on over the last however many years is the Twilight franchise, right? And I'm not gonna lie, you and I have not talked about this beforehand. We just talked about what we were going to talk about. We haven't really, talked about the topics here. But one of the things is Twilight. We just got word that there's going to be a TV series in the works per the Hollywood Reporter. We'll get into that here in a second. But look, I'm not gonna lie, man. I know it might be unpopular, but I didn't really hate the franchise. I didn't love it either. Don't misconstrue me. I didn't love the franchise, but I thought there were some good things there. I didn't read the book, so I don't know the comparisons or whatnot. But yeah, so we got a TV series in the works, and this comes off the heels of Harry Potter being announced as a reboot TV series. So here we got, like I said, per the Hollywood Reporter here, again, Mel Gibson. He's just kind of creeping up as he always does. We'll just go into this a little bit. There's not really much to go on, but it does spark some interest here. So the Twilight Saga is getting a television treatment, as sources tell THR that a series version of the author Stephanie Meyer's best-selling book series is in early development via Lionsgate Television. Sinead Daly, whose credits include Tell Me Lies, The Walking Dead, World Beyond, Raised by Wolves, Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, and The Get Down, I'm not going to lie, I have no idea what those are, is attached to write the script for Twilight. Sources say Daly is working with Lionsgate TV to determine what the specific take on Twilight will be, and if it will be a remake of Meyer's books or a different offshoot. So, Wes, before we get a little bit deeper in here, what do you think about this, man? I don't think we've ever had one conversation about Twilight. We've talked about Robert Pattinson. We've talked
Right.
about Kristen Stewart, but we've never really talked about Twilight as the franchise. What are your thoughts on that as a whole?
So for me, and we've not talked about this,
No.
that's one of the first like real movie series that me and my wife kind of watched together. We I don't mind it. I didn't like it. I didn't hate it. It was good for what it was. I never read the books. She read all of them, and even the new one. I don't really mind it. Like I said, I think that for the book goers and stuff, it was a hit or as a miss. So for me, this series, I mean, I'm obviously gonna watch it because that's something that me and my wife connect on and everything. So I do believe, um, I think it's the right thing? No. I mean, anything that's gone from four films or a film to a series really hasn't, besides there are those, you know, anomalies out there that have done well. But most of the time, these things don't go the way that people think that they should or think that they will.
Right.
Um, these series that she's written, um, I've not watched. I love The Walking Dead, but I've not watched the Beyond one or any of those others. So because I've not heard good things, but that doesn't mean that this can't be a good series.
Right.
It doesn't
Right.
mean that
Right.
anything can't be a good series. It just depends on the writing. It depends on, who they've got playing the roles. It depends on the act. It depends on everything. And if they don't have all that, sorted out the right way, then, it could be a really big bomb, and then, you're going to upset people that really cherish the books. Number one, that's
Every
the
time.
that's the main things
Yeah.
is these people that read the books. And what sucks is, like, nowadays not a lot of people read books anymore.
Right.
I mean, include me. I mean, I've not read a book in I don't know how long. Um, but if you start, you know, breaking down, and it depends on what kind of story they're trying to tell. Is it going to be,
Right.
are they going to try to revamp it, or are they going to try to do a side story on different characters that are, just in the Twilight genre, or is it going to be like, oh, it's going to be Edward and Bella? It's like, well, they've already told the story, man. Like, I don't want to see the same thing over and over again. Is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
If you're
Kind
trying
of
to
been there, done that. Yeah.
correct, and if
Yeah.
you're trying to, redo a story that you've already seen or heard, it's like, well, what's the point? What's the point
Right.
in watching? You know?
Right. And,
So,
and that's kind of one of the things that I thought was interesting about this article. Not only are they going to bring it to fruition and start working on it and give it the green light and all that good stuff, but one thing I want to touch on here is we had just read it that they don't know yet if it's going to be a specific take. Sorry, if the specific take on Twilight will be a remake of the books, which that's what the movies were. Now, how accurate it was of the books, I don't know. Sound off in the comments. I have no idea. I didn't read the books. I don't read. Yeah, this is 21st century. But I'm
audiobooks,
kidding.
man.
Yeah, audiobooks. There you go. Or a different offshoot. And to me, that would be, I think, the most interesting. Right, a different
Mhm.
offshoot. Tell an off story, and that's one of the things I think will. There's nothing wrong with kind of mixing it together. Why can't that's the problem big problem I have with the MCU and DC, well, what will be the DCU, and maybe James Gunn will change that with DC, but one thing I've wanted Marvel to do for a long time is tell those offshoot stories. Tell these one-offs. Yeah, you can make the excuse, oh, Werewolf by Night, but is it really connected to the overall MCU? But DC done it, and the first film they did, Joker, made $1 billion. So it can be done. There's money to be made. So have those different offshoots of Twilight or mix in with the books, do something, but don't be scared to do it because I do think there's something here. And don't forget, this franchise is a $3 billion. I don't remember the exact number, but
Oh, it was a lot.
it's like a $3 billion franchise.
It was a lot.
It's a lot. So, is there a fan base for this? I think there will be. I think people will tune out for it. However, what does bum me out though is that it is going to be a TV series. Now, I do know we're in the midst of the streaming wars. We're still in its infancy and have been the past couple of years, and we're going to be in the infancy for, I'd say, quite a while. But this comes to show, like with the Harry Potter, that's a huge comparison. Not too similar of an IP, but that kind of sci-fi fantasy, right? And I think that something like that could work, but with Twilight, I think there is an audience there. Not a Harry Potter sized audience, but I do think there's an audience out there. And dude, color me interested. Is it going to be the most
That's me too.
anticipated thing of whenever it's supposed to come out? No, but like you said, get a good script, get a good showrunner, and Lionsgate. And I think what they're going to do is I think it said in here. Let me go ahead and get back to this. So the Twilight TV series, in its infancy and does not have a network platform. So that's what I was going to bring up here was they are, I guess, going to produce it and then kind of lease it out, right? And
Right.
and will be uh, I guess auctioned off to potential buyers. We'll just have to see kind of how that goes. Sources say that author um, Mayer is expected to be involved
Meyer.
in the television adaptation. Thank you. Wade Godfrey and former Lionsgate Motion Picture Group co-president Eric Feig, who during his tenure at Summit Entertainment bought the rights to the Twilight book series after Paramount Pictures passed, are both attached to exec produce the television take. Godfrey's Temple Hill banner produced all 5 of the movies, and Feek Summit distributed the film franchise, which made stars of Kristen Stewart, who is amazing. Last thing I seen her, it was Spencer. I didn't love the movie, but she was fantastic in. Robert Pattinson, our Batman, is awesome, has always been awesome. I've been singing the praises to Pattinson for a long time. Taylor Lautner, who's that? Collectively grossed more than, yeah, there it is, $3.4 billion. That is huge. That is almost as much as Avatar: The Way of Water made. Kidding. So, reps for Lionsgate Television declined to comment, as most of the time they do. But I mean, it goes off here talking about some of the numbers. But dude, I mean, I think we're on the same page here. I think it's an interesting kind of take. But yeah, it just
Well,
comes down to the
I
story
mean,
and who's running it. So
like you said with the Harry Potter stuff. I mean, there's a TV series coming out of Harry Potter,
yeah,
and I'm just like, dude, like you guys had like 17 movies, like that were good. I like the Harry
yeah,
Potter series, I
yeah.
did, but it's like if you're gonna redo the same characters but just put different people in them, why? Like I just don't. I don't. I
Right.
don't
You have the movies,
like.
and my big thing is, and we'll go ahead and move on to the next topic. Is my big thing is when a franchise or an IP is to be revitalized or to be rebooted or what have you. You know, if you're a fan of the franchise, you know what? Give it a shot. What's there to lose? So you love it. Okay. If you love the originals, well, now you're going to have two. You're just going to have more to enjoy, right? But if you don't like it, oh well, I didn't like it. I still have the original, which I loved. I didn't hate the Twilight movies. I didn't love them either. I hated how it ended, by the way. But
Yeah, me
I
too.
I, I liked
Trust me.
them. I mean, they were fine. Am I gonna spend a whole Saturday and watch them all? No. I did that with Endgame the other day. I'm like, I'm gonna watch the first 20 minutes, watch the whole 3 hours. So it's just one of those things, right? So who knows? What do y'all think? Sound off in the comments and let us know your thoughts on Twilight. And if you're a fan, let us know. Should this be a movie series instead? We done read the numbers, $3 billion, so it makes movie money, right? So, but I get it with the streaming wars and all that good stuff. So, with that being said, Wes, we'll move on to topic number 2. So, rumor has had the past couple years now, Fantastic Four's coming, right? And when Kevin Feige came up and announced phase 5, I think it's 5, was it 5, will be Fantastic Four. Everybody lost their minds. I love the Fantastic Four. Marvel's first
Oh
family.
yeah,
I love the comics. I love the characters. Ben Grimm is
hated
probably
both the movies.
all 3 movies.
Oh yeah,
Not
they're
very
awful.
good. Not very good. None of the cast fall. I thought all the cast done the best they could. But
Yeah,
that being said, I do think this movie is going to be awesome. Again, we haven't talked about this. I think, and I'm not the only one. There's other people out there, but just as a pundit, I believe. No one's told me this, but I believe, as with a lot of people, the cast has been casted for a while. I think it has been. The reason why I think they're waiting to announce the whole cast is because I don't think they have everybody. I think you don't just announce, "Oh, here's Reed Richards," but we're not going to announce Susan. Like, I don't. To me, you want to announce all 4. Now, I speculate, and a lot of other people have said this too, that maybe at CinemaCon, which is next week, which you and I are going to cover, by the way.
hmm
Um, could Kevin Feige come out and announce the 4 cast members? We'll see. Or could be the summer at Comic-Con. Could be. We'll see. But the newest rumor here is Adam Driver, who I love, and Wes, I think you do too. But
dude,
sorry.
fan
Adam
casting.
Driver. Yeah, Adam
I'm
Driver is
fan casting.
fantastic. Dude, this guy is amazing, right? Adam Driver is
Fantastic,
awesome. So we'll go ahead
fantastic.
and get in this here. This isn't from the Hollywood Reporter. This isn't from Deadline or Variety, but this does come from CBR, Comic Book Resources, who is pretty good. But they got here a new report claimed that Adam Driver is in final talks to star in the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Fantastic Four reboot, according to reputable scooper Daniel Richmond, who um, I've been a little dubious about in the past. I got nothing against him. Don't get me wrong. He's been accurate on quite a bit of things. His accuracy is up there. But again, this isn't Hollywood Reporter. This isn't Deadline. This isn't The Wrap. This isn't Forbes, right? This is somebody who says sword. This is somebody who told a guy who told a guy who told a guy. And once you get into that, it kind of gets a little weird. But let's play devil's advocate. Let's run with it for a moment. Driver is currently finalizing a deal with Marvel Studios to play the Fantastic Four's Reed Richards. Driver's name has floated around the project for months, which it has, at different times rumored to play the major role in Fantastic Four as early as October 2022, though the reports did not indicate which character he might portray. Fans also expressed interest at seeing the Star Wars actor take on the role of the famed Marvel villain Doctor Doom. Now that would be fantastic anyway, but yeah, I could see that.
I think that would have been. Well, I'll get into it whenever we go ahead.
But well, I just wanted to read this last thing here. In January, sources indicated that Driver was Marvel's top casting choice to play Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four reboot. Prior to this, the reports only indicated that Driver had met with Marvel Studios, bless you, to discuss the joining cast of the film, with fans speculating he would play Doctor Doom due to his previous villainous roles, most notably in the third Star Wars trilogy as Kylo Ren. Although nothing has been confirmed, fans have speculated that Doctor Doom will appear in the film as a primary villain and become one of the multiverse's saga's primary antagonists, along with Kang.
Well, no, we'll just cross that out. They'll know what they're going to do with Kang.
That's a whole other video. That's a whole other video. Dude, I'm gonna throw it to you, man. What do you think about Adam Driver in this role? Now, you and I are kind of on the same page, right? Where it doesn't matter an actor as long as they're good. The script's got to be good, the story's got to be good, and then that's when an actor can really sink its teeth into it. But would you be surprised if Adam Driver was in fact Reed Richards? What's your thought?
Absolutely not. So first off, let me apologize. My allergies are killing me right now. But no, I think that Adam Driver. It wouldn't surprise me if he was in this role as Reed Richards, but for me, I think he did a really good job as Kylo Ren, and so it's a catch-22. Like, I think that he'd be amazing at being, Doctor Doom, but if he wanted to be like, okay, no, I want to be the leading man, like the leading person, the hero, like that sort of thing. I think that, we already got our fan cast of, John Krasinski as, Reed Richards. You know what I mean?
Yes,
we got that. They gave it to us. But, do I want to see a whole film with, John Krasinski as Reed Richards? Not exactly. I got it. And it was good.
Right.
And, for me, I'm like, okay, you're gonna I think that he's got the look, he's got, the acting, man. That's the whole thing.
He's incredible.
You have to put somebody who's going to be an amazing lead actor, and I'm excited. If this is what it is, I think that it'll be, as long as his supporting characters are just as good, or not as good, but like very good supporting characters. And if they don't cast The Rock as the thing, we're gonna have problems, bro.
It's got to be Dwayne Johnson as the thing. You know what? Cast Dwayne Johnson as Susan Storm. Just do it, dude.
But I think that it's for me. Adam Driver has done. His just skyrocketed, dude. His acting career and everything. So yeah, throw him into the role. Like, make him a leading man. I know he wasn't Star Wars because he was Kylo Ren, but he wasn't really. Like, it was more along the lines
like
of
an anti-hero.
He was anti-hero, and more of he wasn't on the screen as the leading man. Do you get
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Um,
And although I think he can lead, like I didn't like I liked his performance in House of Gucci. It felt like he was in a different movie than
I
everyone
can't talk
else.
to you. That movie was garbage.
I didn't say the movie, but
The movie
him
was
in it.
garbage.
Adam Driver's fantastic. I think you and I can agree on that. And look, I'm not going to be surprised if Adam he's already in the Disney family as
Mhm.
Kylo Ren, right? So whether he continues as Kylo Ren or not, we'll see. They just announced the slew of new Rey Skywalker movies. So yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
Anyhow, yeah, dude, I love this news, or speculation, I should say, but put a huge grain of salt on this one. This is kind of something that's been floating around for months. I think they've been cast for a while, and I think that once they do announce one, they'll announce all four. Like it'll be one big article. And think about it. Here's why I don't understand is if Scooper Daniel Richmond, which like I said, he's been accurate in the past, right?
mhm.
Does a lot of great things. I do follow him on Twitter. I'll say they here, but it's not Deadline. It's not Variety. It's not Forbes. It's not The Wrap. So you got to think you're not going to tell me that if one of these major trades get a hold of this, they're going to run with it. That's going to be
Mhm.
huge news. This is going to be like monumental news. Fantastic Four. And they're going to announce all four of them. So I'm going to put a huge grain of salt on this one. But all I'm saying is I wouldn't be surprised because he's already in
Well,
the
did you
Disney
see
family.
I know it's in that article whenever
Yeah.
you read, but like they're also saying that the marvelous Miss Mabel or whatever
Miss
is going to
Maisel.
play
Yeah.
Susan. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I didn't watch
I
the show
mean,
unfortunately, but she may
the
play
show's great.
Susan,
She's great.
and
Yeah.
then Evan Butler is set to play like that's rumored to play
Right.
Human Torch, bro. I, that one I'm ugh, like you could do better.
You do better.
Nothing against
Right.
him. You could just do better.
But we
You
ain't
need
read the script either. It's not like everyone was raving for Chris Pratt to be Star-Lord either. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those people that it was like Chris Pratt as Star-Lord in a lead Marvel film, and people were like, "Really?"
really.
And he's great. He's
You're
great as
talking
Star-Lord.
you're
He's
talking about
great.
Kim Kardashian come back like
It's like, wait, hang on now. But yeah, so what do you all think? Sound off in the comments below and let us know your thoughts on Adam Driver. Do you think the role's already been cast? Do you think that this is a bunch of baloney? Do you think it's just, hey, let's grab a handful of spaghetti, throw it at the wall, see what sticks? Oh, everybody's running with this site. So, or with this news, I should say, speculated news. So, but yeah, sound off in the comments. Let us know what you think. All right, Wes. So we're going to get on to some money making stuff here. Okay, you ready for this?
yes, sir.
I did not see Avatar 2, The Way of Water.
Me neither.
James Cameron is the man. Okay. You never bet against James Cameron. I don't know how many people have said it. You do not bet against James Cameron. Now, James Cameron is one of the best figures in Hollywood. What, three? Not one, not two, but I think three of the highest grossing movies of all time are his. Not the top three, but the in the top five. He's got
Yeah.
three: Titanic, Avatar 1, Avatar 2. Bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and he just happens to be a guy that done the first two Terminator films, which Terminator 2 is in my top 10.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, James Cameron. Anyhow, The Way of Water, we finally, and the reason this is news is reason why I want to talk about this is he said a couple months ago, this film needs to make X amount of money to be profitable. And everybody was like, James, we love you, man, but that's not really how movies work. Well, we finally got a number of the profit Disney got to take home. So let's take a look at this. Avatar, The Way of Water, finds Sea of Green to finish number one in Deadline's 2022 Most Valuable Blockbuster Tournament, alongside runner-ups. We had Top Gun Maverick, which was fantastic, dude. Top Gun
Oh,
Maverick was
great.
awesome. It should come no surprise as James Cameron's Avatar: The Way of Water has won Deadline's Most Valuable Movie blockbuster tournament for 2022. At the global box office, it beat Paramount, Skydance, New Republic's Top Gun, Maverick, $2.3 billion to $1.49 billion. Jump to the bottom of the line of further explanation for the numbers, and that's what we're going to kind of skip to here. A lot of this is kind of talking about, what James Cameron said and everything. I want to take a look at this. The film cost, I don't know how much, production cost, there it is, over $1 billion. If I'm to read that right. Now, somebody can kind of go through and kind of help me out with that, but I really like these because numbers don't lie. You can't adjust the numbers. The numbers is fact. The movie cost over $1 billion to make. That's with production costs. We had $400 million in that, prints and ads, basically advertisement. No other, you're not going to see another film unless it's like an Endgame and not just any Marvel movie. Like I'm literally talking about just Endgame. To have a advertising of, ads like you see on Facebook, social media, trailers, stuff like that. $175 million in marketing costs alone. That is like crazy. But if you don't market the thing, it's not going to make any money, right? So it's kind of is what it is. Video costs $100 million, residuals $40 million. I'm sure most of that went to JC. Interest and overhead $72 million. Participations, and this is all millions, by the way. It says it right up here. All figures in millions except cash on cash return. Domestic box office, we got $683 million, and international, which was no surprise, like over double that with $1.3 billion. China box office $246 million, worldwide $2.3 billion, and we got a studio net $531 million. That is more money than you and I and our grandchildren will ever see.
Bro, our grandchildren's grandchildren ain't gonna see that
that's
much
true.
money. What are you
that is
talking
true.
about?
It's going to go on down the line, So, this is kind of what I want to touch on here. We'll go back to the numbers. Cameron told GQ that Avatar: The Way of Water was the worst business case in movie history. I totally agree. By the way, I totally agree, and that it would need to be third or fourth highest grossing film in history to break even. Okay, James, okay. As the third highest grossing movie of all time with $2.3 billion, behind Avatar's $2.9 billion Avengers Endgame, $2.7 billion. Deadline sources deem Avatar: The Way of Water profitable with $531.7 million. That does not include the ancillary revenue from Avatar's presence at Disney theme parks, which at the Conglom also counts on its books. And we're not going to go into all that. But,
bro, by the way, just saying, the Make-A-Wish trip, the flipping, if you get a chance to go to Disney, Florida, Orlando, dude, the Avatar, that whole like world that they built.
I heard it's fantastic. Like Pandora and everything. Yeah,
dude, it's
I hear it's
great.
great. Avatar, it's a great franchise. I love the first movie. I just, with everything going on, I got a new job as well. That's one of the reasons. And we'll do a video on this, by the way, of why we were gone. But yeah, let's go on in here. JC also said, I never actually gave it a number. I said it would have to be among the highest grossing movies in history, and somebody else applied that number and got it picked up. The number is actually less. He was confident in the pick's success, obviously, would encourage Disney to commit to the sequels he had in the works over the next 6 to 7 years. Avatar: The Way of Water's opening had nothing to ding, though it was lower than many Marvel films and slow at the gate. But this movie had legs, man. It had the repeat viewing experience, and impressive, by the way, especially Endgame's 3-hour runtime. This was clocking at 3 hours as well. And it profited Disney $531 million. That was money well spent. Yes, they put a lot into it. They put over $1 billion into it. That's, to me, no film should cost this much. Sorry, it's being stupid. This much to make. None. No film in history or ever should cost that much.
Nope.
So, but that's a whole other topic. Wes, you hear these numbers. What do you think about Avatar's success and what this means for the franchise and Disney moving forward?
So, okay, so before all I've heard from people that have seen it, that are my friends and stuff like that, um, have just said, "Man, what a waste of time! 3.5 hours of nothing." And I mean, that being said, though, it's like these. It's like what I think is people got trapped. They're like, "Oh my god, another Avatar movie, another Avatar movie! Like, got to go see it." And then, yeah, everybody went to go see it, thinking that this is going to be just as amazing as Avatar was back then. But like, you know, I loved Avatar whenever it first came out. Loved it, loved it. Went back and watched it, and I was like, it's kind of dumb. Not gonna lie, kind of dumb. No real plot line and just horrible, horrible script. Um, but like some people like really did love it, and for me, I'm just like, I didn't watch it because all I've heard was negative things about it, and I think that people got trapped into going and seeing this. Yes, it grossed all that much, but it was just because it grossed, you know, trapping people into going and watching this movie. If you understand what I'm saying, do you get what I mean? Like that's what I think.
Yeah.
Like, am I gonna go watch a 3.5 hour long movie? Like, dude, you need an intermission, bro. I remember watching Titanic in the theater and being like, okay, there's an hour and a half. Get up and go get your popcorn and go take a piss. Like, just like, and then coming back to your seat and then starting the second act. Like, this is like, no, you're gonna sit here for 3 hours, bro. I'll take blood pressure medicine. I ain't got time for that. Okay, like. Like, I'm just saying, so for me, um, I just don't know. Like, I think that people got trapped into going and seeing this movie. No movie should ever cost that much money.
No.
It's absolutely ridiculous. We've got people you know, that are losing their jobs all around us and things happening, and you're putting $1 billion into a stupid blue people movie. Go away.
To be
Sorry.
fair,
That's my rant. That's my rant. Love you. That's my rant.
to be fair, the movie making is a business, right? You got to put money into something. It's a consumer seller kind of relationship. It is a business at its surface. So I get it. They knew it was going to make money. They had to put the marketing into it. They had to do all this and that and all that sorts of stuff. So to see these numbers is asinine, absolutely. But as a business, it paid off. It paid off.
Yeah, want to get paid that much, bro? I'm sure you do. I do too.
Look,
let's go make
yeah.
an effing movie.
What I don't understand is, did it really? And maybe, work was crazy today, and so my brain might not be working here. But go look at these numbers again, and tell me, how did this movie make money? Right? I get all these other auxiliary costs, right? All these here, but this number, total expenses, but you only made $531 million, but you put in $1 billion.
No, so the thing is, they put in $1 billion. They broke even at $1 billion, and then they profited from that. So
right.
They broke even, and then they made that
right
that 500 whatever.
Right, it's profit. The 531's profit. Yeah, I get that. I'm just thinking, and the $500 million is nothing to sneeze at. That is incredible, and that might be around, I don't know, but it might be around the time Endgame came out. Everybody was talking about, well, how much money did it make Disney? Quite a bit. It's almost a $3 billion movie. So, I mean, it to me, it's just crazy. I guess what I was trying to say is obviously it made a profit. Yes, we could see that. But my thing is, I mean, it's working, man. Like, I wouldn't do it. It's risky, right? It's risky. That costs
You got to
Disney
risk it to get the biscuit.
You got
to
risk it to get the biscuit. And he even said, "Hey, this is a risk. Like, I may not be employed again." Now, would he be hurting the rest of his life? No. He's still making, he's got tens of millions in the bank, maybe 100. I don't know.
He's got hundreds of millions, dude.
He's got a lot.
On, man.
So
he's got a lot of money in the bank.
This news is something, let me tell you. And you know what? and maybe when we get the chance, I would like to see it. I still have been wanting to see it. Been having issues with the theater in here, but again, that will be a topic at another time, and we'll explain our hiatus and all that good stuff. But what do y'all think about this news? What do you think about this numbers? Do you think it's as crazy as we think, or do you think no, they should spend that amount of money because it is a business? And while I do think that, I do think it's crazy that they spent that amount in the first place. But to know that it made profit makes Disney very happy. And what this means for the franchise is we're going to get 3, we're going to get 4, we're going to get 5, we're going to get 6, and maybe even 7. It's just going to take another 30 years. So we see how long it took to get the sequel anyhow. So let us know your thoughts in the comments. So the last topic we're going to discuss here is, when COVID was starting to, we were feeling the heavy effects of it, we were locked down and all that kind of stuff. One of the things that was kind of bugging a lot of film fans, even though there was a lot more serious things going on in the world, but here we're just talking about the movies, is studios made the idiotic, most bullshit decision to release day and date in theaters and on streaming. Now, Warner Brothers, and this is what got, that Kalar guy fired, by the way, was they announced that Warner Brothers was going to release these films day and date. And as much as we pitched a fit about it, I literally could not go to a theater. I couldn't do it. There was none any remotely close to me that I could do it.
None close to me either. You know that.
Even though I complained,
spot, so.
Right, and even though I complained, one of the movies that I did watch was Godzilla versus Kong. I'm about to say Godvilla. Like, what? Godzilla versus Kong. That is a movie. Is it one of the greatest sci-fi things ever? No, but man, I'll lie to you if I tell you it wasn't a lot of fun. That movie was fun, and you know how it would have been more fun? In the theater. It sucks, but I had a good time with it. Well, we just got news. Now, we knew there was a sequel coming, but today we got a trailer, little teaser, not even a trailer, little bit of teaser that we've got Godzilla X Kong, which is now called, gets a new title. Godzilla X Kong sequel gets new title. Film news in brief. The title of the sequel to 2021 monster battle Godzilla vs. Kong was released Wednesday, and it's Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. The film's producer Legendary tweeted, "The Monsterverse continues," with a brief teaser showing the fearsome reptile facing off against the massive primate. Now, we're not going to watch it here. We'll go into that here in a second. The amazing Rebecca Hall and the fantastic Brian Tyree Henry, Academy Award nominated. Did he win an Academy Award this Oscars?
I don't remember.
I don't know, but definitely nominated. I love him. He was also in Eternals. Love Brian Tyree Henry. And he was also in Bullet Train. Love him. Who appeared in Godzilla vs. Kong returned for the sequel, and Dan Stevens, love Dan Stevens, joining the cast. Adam Wingard returns to direct. Godzilla vs. Kong grossed $470 million worldwide, which was fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but that movie would have been $1 billion had it released only in theaters.
Though. It wasn't $3 billion. That's
$3 billion. A healthy sum when many moviegoers were still hesitant to return to theaters in the midst of the pandemic. Now, ours locally were still closed. Ours over here were closed. We literally couldn't go, so we didn't have a choice. As much as I hated doing it, in the midst of the pandemic, it was released simultaneously on HBO Max, causing controversy when Legendary was not on board with the early streaming release. And who would? That was such a bullcrap decision. Anyway, it's the 5th entry in Legendary Monsterverse, which kicked off with the rebooted Godzilla in 2014, which I actually liked. Then the new Kong Skull Island, thought that was pretty good, in 2017. Then introduced some of Godzilla's most fearsome enemies like Mothra, King Ghidorah, and Rodan in Godzilla King of the Monsters in 2019. And finally brought the two titans as cinema together in Godzilla vs. Kong. I had such a fun time with this. There's also a Skull Island anime series coming to Netflix and a live-action Godzilla and the Titans series coming to Apple TV Plus, which I think you and I talked about in a previous video, with Kurt Russell, Wyatt Russell, and Kiersey Clemens among the cast. SingCon announced its 5th annual conference is set to take place December 1 to 3rd. The Hollywood-based 3-day conference will have several events, including panels, workshops, interactive activations, and network segments. Now, that's some stuff we'll not really get into, but this is our first tangible news. One thing I wanted to point out is right here. Only in theaters. 2024. We got a release date, March 15, 2024. But that's the most exciting I felt after watching this little teaser here, was only in theaters. I love that. Wes, you hear this news. What's your thoughts on the last movie? And what do you think about this news? What do you think about the title change? And will this be cinema? What are your thoughts?
So for me, just like he said, we weren't able to go to the movie theaters at all around here. So I too watched like Godzilla versus Kong, and not gonna lie, man, my son, 7, he was 6 then, like loves Godzilla, loves Kong, like loves it all. It's so for me, this is super exciting because it's gonna excite him. I haven't told him anything. I hadn't showed him the trailer yet, but super. I'm stoked, to be honest. Like I had a lot of fun, just like Gabe did, while watching Godzilla versus Kong. I mean, it's supposed to be fun. I mean, this is not a drama that, you got to get really into the story. It's like, okay, two huge monsters going at it. Like, who doesn't want to see that? Like, that's super cool to me. And I like, he loves it. He's got the figurines and all that good stuff, because this was just about the time they started really getting into like, Jurassic World and stuff like that. So to him, like Godzilla is just a dinosaur, which whatever. We ain't gonna get into that. But the other movies, like we bought all of them. So like he watches them a lot. You know what I mean? So I'm super stoked about this. You know what I mean? Like I said, you said you had fun. I had fun watching it. I think that this is gonna be, you know, another fun movie, another, and one that we can actually, like you said, go see in the theaters and see those big action scenes where they're fighting each other and where they're fighting humans and, like, Godzilla. So, I just think that I think it's going to be fun,
Yeah,
so
and that's
I'm
all we
kind of
yeah,
stoked about it.
and that's all we asked for, right? Like, look, I'm not going to this movie looking for the next Godfather. I'm not going in here looking for
It's
Schindler's
not a
List.
drama. It's not a drama,
Right. I'm not going in here looking for, I need this Godzilla X Kong to be
The
cinema.
multiverse.
Yes, the multiverse. I need Godzilla versus Kong, the sequel, to be the best picture. I need Martin Scorsese to bend his knee to Godzilla versus Kong and call it cinema. No, dude. And it's funny because I'm the same person that is like, no, I want characters. I want drama. I want that interaction
Mhm.
between actors and, I want that conflict. And I want something like the King's Speech where you just got Colin Firth just talking. It's just a riveting performance. I don't want any of that crap in this movie.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just
I
want
just wanna fight
Godzilla.
the
I just
whole
want,
time.
dude, I don't, every time it showed humans and any of these movies, as much as I love, Brie Larson and Loki, Tom Hiddleston in Kong Skull Island, as much as I love these actors, right? As much as I love Dan Stevens, as much as I love Brian Tyree Henry, as much as I love blah, 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 and Bryan Cranston. Now, the first Godzilla is the exception. That one was more character driven, right? That was a little more character driven. However, that excluded, I don't care. Like I don't want any of those people. Just
Right.
get smashed. I don't care. No one is watching this movie to hear, "Oh my god, it's Godzilla. Somehow he returned," or whatever. Like I don't need that. Just show me fighting. Dude, this shot right here, I'm kind of
We're
freaking
here to
out.
have
This
fun. We're here
shot,
to go to the movies and
here to
have a
go to
good
the
time
movies.
with this.
That's
That's what
it.
you want.
And there's nothing wrong with mixing in a top of a movie like this, right? In the midst of, and I'm a huge fan of the Oscars. I want the Oscars. It's my favorite day of the year. Sorry to my 3 kids and wife. It's my favorite day of the year. Over birthdays, over anniversary. That's it. Oscars it. I love the Oscars. I'm a component for seeing the best of the best That's who I am as a film buff. That's who I am as a pundit. That's who I am as just a fan. First
Just
and
keep
foremost, a
Will
fan.
Smith's name out
Out.
your mouth. Just saying. Just saying. Keep his name out
Keep
your
his
mouth.
wife's name
Keep his
out your
wife's
mouth.
name out your mouth.
Dude, this is a movie that needs to be sprinkled in every year. These types of movies, right? Because think about it, this shot just reminds me of one of the best scenes in that movie, right? Now, is this Oscar worthy? No, but I had such a fun time watching this on my stupid couch, watching on my stupid Samsung QLED 75-inch TV. Like as great, as puny as my
Nice
system
flex.
is, with my awesome Bose sound system, surround sound, I loved watching it. And all I could do was just kick myself because I didn't see it in the theater. And I hated that. So that's the only thing I'm excited for in this movie is seeing it in the theater because we're getting this right here. I can't wait, man. Like it did this jump to my most anticipated? No, but I tell you what, I'm more excited this than that Twilight series. The idea of two giant monsters, a giant monkey and gorilla, whatever, and a giant reptile fighting. What's not to love? What's not to love? I don't need a script from Goodfellas or Godfather or
Like
Schindler's
I said,
List
I want
or
to walk in. I want them to say, "Oh no, Godzilla," and then
Smash. Yeah,
start
that's it.
tearing stuff up,
Just
dude.
give me this the
From
rest of the
the
movie.
get go.
Give me this the rest, like the whole 2 hours or whatever.
Yep.
I'm excited. Well, what do y'all think about this news? Are you excited for Godzilla X Kong? That's still kind of weird to me. It's Godzilla versus Kong. What do y'all think about this news? Are you a fan of the franchise? Sound off in the comments below and let us know what you think. Wes, man, let's close out. It's been great to be back. We're going to do a video explaining our little hiatus, but we are going to be coming back with an updated schedule here soon. It's going to be a couple days a week, but we'll get into the nitty gritty in another video. We can't wait. Wes, it's been a pleasure, man. Where can people find you, my friend?
Well, you can find me at your local grocery store or anywhere else you might want to go. Nah, I'm just playing, guys. Just hit me up on Twitter. It's at Rathbone86. Let me know what you think or what you don't think. Either way. But Gabe, why don't you tell them where they can find you, my friend? You love this is why we're here.
This is why we're
the usual skeptics.
This is why we're here.
You
could my name's, you could simply call me Reed. Just fuck it. You could find me at Voice of Film on Twitter without a blue check mark on Twitter, just simply at Voice of Film. We're also going to be revitalizing my TikTok, which you can find in the same name, Voice of Film. Go check me out there. We're going to have daily content there. It'll be a little more short formed, and Wes and I is going to be doing more. We're going to experiment with some things. We'll talk about that down the road. But shocker to you, Wes, I haven't mentioned that to you yet, but we are going to be doing a couple things. I'll talk to you a little bit about that. But yeah, you can simply find me there. We have been the usual skeptics, and we can't wait to see you guys next time. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, do all that kind of stuff. Don't feed the cat. I don't know. What do you do on YouTube? Do all that sorts of stuff. It's late. Movie
shout out
news.
to Ingles, bro.
All right, before we get into trouble, we're going to log off here. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for your indulgence. We appreciate it. He's been Wes, I've been Gabe, but we've been the usual skeptics. You can find us in the next video, and we'll see you then.